There's always been disasters, unfortunately. And I guess back in '91, I was a humane officer, and we were called to a fire, and we needed to get the animals out of the situation. Well, when the people would come out, they'd have their animals, and they had temporary housing set up with the American Red Cross, but you weren't allowed to take your animals to the Red Cross shelter. And I was asked, do you have a place for them? And I realized at that point that our county did not have a program in place to respond not only to fires, but to floods, car accidents. There had to be a place and a team that would go in and help get these animals under control and placed in proper shelter.
Prior to SART coming online, the normal response in a county would be, if there happened to be a county resource to go to, police or fire would go to it. Very often, for an animal issue, it was a large animal or a small animal veterinarian who would assist. But when it came to an evacuation of animals or temporary sheltering, there was no structured response. The Pennsylvania State Animal Response Team was founded with a mission of assisting state and local government entities during disasters to deal with any type of animal issue. What we mean by that is protecting animals, rescuing animals, sheltering animals, and everything from companion animals up through horses and production livestock.
Our job is to have safe places for animals, temporary locations. We aren't going to permanently solve any problems, but in the case of a disaster, a flood or a barn fire, for example, where there may be large animals and or small animals that need to be moved, that need to be housed, dairy cattle that need to be milked, for example, those are that family's livelihood, and they need to be taken care of.
The State Animal Response Team is an umbrella organization that helps out the local CART teams. The CART teams are there to help the individuals right in their neighborhood, so to speak. There is cooperation between the local CART teams. We actually have several groups of CART coordinators that meet on a regular basis to discuss using the same paperwork. So if we would be called to assist another CART, we would be familiar, and to have the same sort of guidelines.
I think working with cooperation, I think that's very important. Knowing what your job is when you get there, not overstepping your job, making sure that there is procedures in place and everybody knows those procedures. And the only way by doing that is by practice and educating individuals.
The important parts of the PA-SART and CART mission is to ensure that all of our folks are trained appropriately.
For the safety of the animal and the safety of the people as well, it just better for everybody if we have some knowledge and educated to the point to where we're beneficial to the animal's welfare and the human's welfare.
I think it's made the people that do go through it more confident about their role in the organization and in an emergency.
Being able to handle animals that are loose, frightened because of an accident, they don't recognize anybody's voice, they don't recognize the people that are there, and it's a challenge to be able to handle them in a manner that, they won't injure themselves, but yet you can get them captured to take them to safety.
In the summer of '06 flooding, being it was sort of the first official large-scale disaster in the state where the carts were called out, Gilberton had the worst. We actually had to go out with the National Guard and boats to help remove animals that were trapped in their houses.
When the flood of '06 arrived, it was basically an unprecedented event in this county. In a 12-hour period from Tuesday afternoon of the 27th of June until Wednesday morning on the 28th of June, we had between 8 and 9 inches of rainfall in the northern parts of our county.
A temporary shelter was actually set up in a vacant dormitory at Bloomsburg University with assistance from the president of Bloomsburg and our CART team.
Each county did their own rescues. However, counties that did not have a lot involved did offer for assistance.
What we did find out with the flood was that we could work well together with the SPCA. They did a lot of the paperwork for us, giving us numbers for the animals, so we had them assigned to different people and nobody got lost in that, so that did really work well.
I think that everything you do, and every time you have a disaster like this, you learn and you go forward, and every time gets, hopefully, a little better.
If someone was thinking of being involved in one of the state animal response teams or the county animal response team, I would want them to know that a lot of training is required, that the people who are responding with you, you want to have confidence in them, you want to know they've had training, so they need to have time available and they need to be willing to learn things because we will want to train them.
It has to be rewarding, and it has to be something you really like, and it's born into you or into your blood, because if you didn't like it, you wouldn't put in the kind of hours and the stuff that we do every day and every day and every day.
I think if people want to help animals, they should join the CART and help in whatever capacity they can, whether it be actually rescuing the animals or maybe getting supplies or maybe getting donations of money to help out to buy the supplies.
The reason I got involved is because I do think it's an important thing. I think it's really critical because you never know when the next emergency is going to happen and when it's going to be you, and you want people there that know what to do and can handle it properly.
It's incredibly rewarding. And to go out and meet people who are like-minded, who are looking to help in their community, and looking to help a population, i.e. our animal population, that needs our help. So far, we have close to 1,000 volunteers around the state who have come forward, and that's just an incredible response to a need that's been out there for a long time.